Dear Diary, this week was exhausting, but I still managed to finish one project. It's a hat. I know it's not much, but for me, it's quite an achievement. I also made some progress on my Geogradient. I am almost done with glue free. This week, I would like to decide on my Christmas sweater. I cannot decide. I added like 22 patterns to my list, but they are all so beautiful and unique that I want to knit all of them. But I cannot. I cannot justify so many sweaters. Maybe you can help me to pick one? I would be really, and I mean really grateful. Okay, let's show you. Shall we? Hello and welcome to Knitting Diary. My name is Martina and this is a tiny little corner on the internet where I share everything I knit, crochet and make with fibers. So today I'm wearing a really red sweater which I have knitted I think 2 or 3 years ago. I really do enjoy the vintage, you can call them vintage, but it's basically the patterns from the 80s, 90s, maybe some of the 70s. And this one is from Drops. It's called, I have the name here, it's called the Dolce Lavanda, which is originally knitted in the Magia, which is 82% goat mohair, 10% wool, and the rest is nylon. But unfortunately the Magia is discontinued, and at the time when I knitted this sweater, it was still when we were living in Belgium. I didn't have any access to Drops anyway, so I decided to knit this in the Hobby Diablo, which is well, mostly acrylic with some brushing, so it gives off the mohair feel, and the rest is Bumbo acryl yarn, which is 100% acrylic. I knitted this on the needles number, I think 7mm. Yes, on 7mm needles, and I have been wearing this for, well, I have been wearing this a lot. So most of the fluff from the hobby yarn is gone. It has matted, I had to shave this sweater a lot, you know, take some care of it, and it's kind of see-through now because the hobby yarn, the Diablo, it kept it you know, more fluffy, so it didn't look as see-through as does now. This was a Christmas project, but when I say it was a Christmas project, it wasn't the one that I was supposed to cast off before the Christmas Eve. It was the one that I casted on Christmas Eve, and I finished it well, I think on the New Year's I was already wearing this, so it took me a few days, I think 5 days. I remember finishing it on the couch while watching some Christmas shows, you know. In my country there's always a lot of cartoons for the kids, but from the 80s and 70s, 60s, even 50s, so there's a lot to watch. It's a huge tradition in my family to usually watch during the Christmas all of the movies that are on the TV, and I do like to watch not all of them but some of them, you know, so yeah. It's a nice memory for me. And this, well, since it's a red sweater and I do like it and enjoy it, it would need some TLC, you know, like shaving again and taken care of. I I have a problem because in the last episode I mentioned that I wanted to make a Christmas sweater, and the Christmas sweater was supposed to be this. I'm in the middle of the room, but it doesn't matter. So this is, again, it's red. I like to look like, yeah, it's blowing out. The red is so rich that it's blowing out. I'm pairing this with, once again, Diablo in, wait, I will show you, in this shade. It's really vibrant, so the camera is not picking on it. And then I am pairing this with the woolly cone, which is 100% merino, but it's really thin strand of yarn. So I'm holding this double plus the hobby Diablo, and it's creating a really delicate, nice to touch, to feel next to skin. It's amazingly soft fabric, and I'm not sure I want my Christmas sweater to be red anymore. I will definitely finish this one, but maybe it's not as priority. You know, it's not red in the priority anymore, and I am searching for a new Christmas sweater. I am a really chaotic knitter. I have a lot of projects, and I do know that they need to be taken care of. I need to get rid of my stash where there's ton of sweater quantity yarn, and I know that I still want to buy more yarn to knit some projects that I dream to knit, and I'm kind of stopping myself to do it before I get rid of that. So in this episode I will also be searching for my sweater, Christmas sweater, and I thought it would be nice to take you with me. Maybe you can help me to decide. Maybe. We will see. Okay. This time I have a finished object. Again, it's a hat, but this time it's for me. And this is a simple one-on-one rib hat in alpaca silk, brushed alpaca silk from Drops. This episode is really Drops oriented, and I used the whole ball, the 50 gram, so you can see it's quite long. You can wear it as beanie, you can wear it as a folded hat, you can even double fold it. I do not like this a lot because it's kind of short for me, but I do enjoy the rich fold, you know, you can make and then just putting it on. And I do think it suits me, but it's just so squishy and nice and warm. It's still raining in Germany, so I really do need a hat to wear around, especially if we go to the gym and come out. I do not want to get sick, so I decided to knit myself a nice hat. It took me maybe a day to knit, and since I said that, now I'm thinking like what I was doing the rest of the days. Yeah, we will get there. So this took me one day. It's knitted on 3.5mm needles. First I used my double pointed because I wasn't sure I could stretch this to the extent of my circulars, which are quite long. I know I might have searched for shorter ones. I do have shorter ones, but I could not find them. They're probably in some project and I didn't want to take them out or even search for them, so I think this one will get a lot of use. during the winter. And since I'm seeing this, I really do want to cast on one in red, because I do enjoy anything and everything that's red. Most of my projects are red, so this would be nice if it was red. Firstly, I thought I would be able to make it double, also account for the fold, but the 50-gram ball wasn't enough, unfortunately. I think I could get away if I cast it on less stitches, not 90, maybe even 80, but just to be careful so the cast on edge is not too tight. On this one, the cast on edge is over here, so because it was quite tight, then I thought I could have just used 2 strands of the alpaca silk, so it's not as tight as it ended up being. But yeah, it was too late and I didn't want to rip it out, so I just went with it and tried to make this cast off bind off a little bit stretchier. I did use the bind off through the back loop. When you bind off 2 through the back loop and switch the loop, well, the stitch back on the left needle, and again and again and again. Yes, but what makes me sad is the fact that I used a beautiful cast on method and a setup method for this, and it's not even visible. It's the one where you have stitches on your needle, you cast on the needed amount of the stitches, but be sure to cast them on loosely. And then if you make a ripped head, well, usually it's used for the ripped heads or anything that's ripped, and you want the feel of an Italian bind off, so you just take the loop which is knitted and turn it around and knit it through the back loop. I will make a short video where I do show this in much deeper detail because I can imagine that if I just describe it like this, it's like, what the hell? Yes, so then it makes this kind of, you know, cast on edge, and it's really beautiful. And unfortunately you cannot even see it, so that's one of the downsides of this hat. But yeah, it doesn't matter because it's orange, it's nice, it's warm, it's so fluffy. I could just, you know, wear this all the time. It's extremely fluffy. I love brushed alpaca silk, and this is the first hat I have knitted in this, and I do not think it's the last one. I guess I will make more hats, but maybe even longer ones, or even use 2 balls of one color or maybe 2 colors and make them ripped. So from one, you know, double-sided and ripped, so one side will be one color, the other side will be another color, and every time you fold it, the other color is showing. Yeah, that's also an idea that I have been playing with for a long time. It could work, it would definitely work, and it would look, I think, incredible, at least for me. Yes, so that was a finished project. I have been knitting on this beast of a shawl, which I cannot finish. For the love of God. Yes. So the last time I was just starting with the second wing. One wing is done, but the second wing of the part 3 of the knit along, and I am slowly decreasing. Well, I knitted this much in I think one evening. It took me 2 or 3 hours. So yes, that's all I did. This is the wrong side, this is the right side. Yes. This week I don't know why, but I'm not knitting as much as I would like to. I do not have the energy. The rain is taking everything from me, so yes. It's not as I would like it to be, but I'm trying. I do want to finish the clue 3, I think today or tomorrow, and then I will get onto the clue 4. And it's supposed to have like 900 stitches on the needle, so that will be fun. But I think, well, everything is. The problem is that with this pattern, as much as I love it, I just have to knit twice. And I do not like to knit something twice, that's why I do not like to knit socks. You know, at the same time, 2 socks at the same time on 2 separate needles, or even like finishing one sock and then doing another sock. No, if I do have to do socks, I just knit them in the tube and I just cut them in the middle, and that's it. That's 2 socks, they're done. Yes, if it's an intricate pattern, like with the, I think it was Color Blast socks from Steven West. Yes, it was a knit along, in which I participated in. So that was okay, but the second sock, yeah, I didn't like it. I did not enjoy it. I had to switch the colors, so they're not the same. Yes, that's how my brain works. It doesn't most of the time, but yeah. This way I can force it to work a little. Yes. As I mentioned, I do have a huge stash, but still, today we went to a shop and I saw this. It's this fluffy faux fur from Addison and May, which is 100% polyester, and we have 200 grams, which is 120 meters. And I think you can knit it on 10 to 12 millimeter needles. So this will be fun. I thought it could become a hat, but I'm not so sure of it. Maybe I will make a bucket hat. Yes, that could be quite nice. I do have one, but I bought that one, and it's not really well made. It was the one from like a chain shop here, and it's not really straight, it's quite crooked. But my whole life I wanted a bucket hat and I didn't have it because my mom didn't like them. I had one when I was 4 and then they went out of fashion, I think, so I didn't have any. So I will be making a bucket hat with this, which shouldn't be too difficult. It should be a quick project because on a 10 millimeter needle this will be quite fast. Yes, I'm just worried that I will run out of the yarn, but yeah, I think I will make it work. I will have to, or I can just buy more. Yes, I can buy more. Yeah, so that was unfortunately all for my knitting. Well, as I said, I have no idea what I was doing the rest of the week. I was knitting one day on the Geogradient and basically 2 days on this. Well, 2.5 of days on this. 3 days I was somewhere I needed to be, so that's 5 days. Yes, that's why I don't have much progress, because that's basically all of the time I had. Yes. November is quite busy and it usually should not be, but this year it is. Never mind. And now I'm adding to it a new project, which will be quite fun. I think it will become the priority for me, and it's the sweater. I have a list of, wait for it, it's, I think, yes, it's 22 sweaters from Drops, from the Garden Studio. And I cannot choose. I have no idea which one to choose because I have some sweater quantities in Alize, Angora Gold. I have, I think, 5 balls of this one in color terracotta, which is beautiful, but since it has the mohair feel to it, I do not want to use it for color work. I just want to use it for something structured, and I did find the sweater, which is not really structured, but I did find the sweater, the Purple Delight. I will put a picture here, which is originally knit in Drops Vienna. This one, the Vienna, is also discontinued, so I can just use this one. And it just creates this huge, beautiful sweater that, I don't know, I can just wear to anywhere. But I'm afraid that it will do the same thing as this one did, and it will get destroyed. The next one is also like a fluff yarn, also knitted in Vienna, and it's the sweater Janelle, I think. Yes, Janelle should be it. And I absolutely adore this sweater. Those two were more of the vintage sweaters, vintage patterns. And the next for the mohair sweater is the Green Hill sweater. This is one of the newer patterns from Drops. But yeah, it's supposed to be green, it's in the name, and I'm using the terracotta yarn, which, yeah, but it's nonetheless, it's beautiful design, but I just do not feel like I should be using terracotta for a Green Hill sweater. Yes, and the next ones, there's a lot of Norwegian sweaters which I adore. For example, I adore these sweaters. There's the Endless Winter, which is beautiful, but I'm not sure I have that much of one color. If I do have one color, I have several shades of the color, and most of these sweaters are knitted in Charisma, and I do not have Charisma. I mostly have Flora, but I also have a stash of green yarn, which from other company, which could be used for this. It was meant for something else, a pattern of mine, but I never get to it, so I could just use it up. Yeah, I think I'm just too burned out to do something on my own, but I still have to. I have one plan and I have to do it. Yes. Then I have the pattern which doesn't have a name, and it's the 43-6, which is beautiful. It reminds me of all of the sweaters that people knit from knit picks and so on, and it's just Drops. It's free, and you can modify it if you know some basics, some knitting basics. You can make it longer, you can make it shorter, you can make it more narrow, more wider. You can shape it as you want, and that's why I do enjoy the Drops designs. They're not knitted for everyone. Oh, they're not written for everyone, because you have to have at least some basics, some knitting basic knowledge to be able to do it, because it's not written step by step. It's just for this part cast on this many and do the diagram A for 15 centimeters, then switch to this size of needles and do this and so on and so on. So it's quite a challenge, but I do enjoy it. And I think this could be, one of these ones could be my Christmas sweater. So I will put them all on the screen, and in the next episode I will cast on. I will be glad if you help me pick one. Just feel free to pick any of them, because I think if I do not have the yarn, I will buy the yarn. But if it's possible, I would like to use the one from my stash. There's a lot, so it will be fun. It will be a huge fun. Maybe I will use the terracotta for the sweater Polar Blues, I think it's called. So I have some contrasting Angora gold, which is a leftover from my Westknits project I did a month ago, I think. Yes, the last month. I think it was the month of September when I was knitting it. So for Florence Sperling. So it was the Farah shawl. Yes, it was the Farah shawl that I was knitting, and I still have a lot of leftovers. And also, why not? Why not? It's my Christmas sweater. It can be anything I want it to be, and I think that if it will be a yarn that I like and enjoy to knit with, it will go faster. Which is kind of an interesting theory. I think I should give it a chance, maybe. Okay, so that's everything for today's episode. I thank you for watching, subscribing, commenting. I thoroughly enjoy all of the views. Like every time someone watches, I'm so happy that anyone has tuned in and enjoyed the half an hour with me. It makes me feel like I have a lot of friends. It's a nice feeling. So I'm also trying to make the quality of the video better, and I mean the definition of the video. In Germany it's usually the nighttime around 5 p.m. because the sun sets down and it's basically dark. So my husband bought me this ring light, and it's the first time using it, and I feel kind of weird before using it. For sure, I know that my neighbors from across the road, who can see straight into our window, he's just watching me the whole time and thinking like, what the hell is she doing? But yeah, I waved him when I was setting up the setup for the video. He was just standing there and looking at me, so I just waved to him. Yeah. Germany, you can always see your neighbors. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much again for watching, subscribing, commenting and everything. I hope you liked the video. I hope you like the patterns. Please do let me know which one of them you like the most, because I love all of them and I cannot pick. Okay, have a nice weekend, day, week, and next time. Bye bye. Bye.